Hello there everyone and welcome back. We had ourselves a handful of weird matches. I want to argue anyway they were kind of awkward, if not weird matches. For my second, Zerg opponent decided to put a hatchery in my base. Don't ask me what the thought process was in that, but it failed horribly and thankfully we dealt with the Baneling attack afterwards. So that was pretty straightforward. And the Terran game was just infuriating, having to deal with the dang Liberators, but thankfully, you would think losing, or let me try it again. You would think not having mining in my main base for like almost half the game would be the death of me. You would think anyway, but apparently we won that, and I want to argue it's because my opponent's not really experienced with the head-on assault. He's more versed in harassment. Hint all those missile turrets. That's where my thought process goes in as far as that match. So when we finally did get to fight him head-on there with the Templar and all that, never mind the fact he was partially like tanks as well, it was falling apart for him there. I was getting the better trades, and especially when I was able to pick off the third and fourth expansions that were kind of isolating easy pickings for me. So I am happy about that regardless. I just need to nail down the mechanics, which can be tricky to do. But let's continue on. I feel like I'm getting really close to Diamond now, so hopefully we can celebrate this occasion in this episode, but first I need to keep winning. Alright, PvT yet again. We're gonna have ourselves more of this potential trying to figure out what my opponent's up to. It's gonna be interesting, and it is nice and dynamic, since the one thing I would have to criticize about my commentary, or at least my playstyle, is that it's always the same build. Let's be fair. I'm relying more on my opponent to add to the diversity as opposed to myself. But once we get up to master rank, once we get up to like diamond, high diamond, it is going to be required for me to mix up some, especially if we get into a situation where I'm facing off against the same opponent. So a lot of the same build is mostly just to build up the mechanics and keep it simpler, and of course, I said multiple times already, to help with the muscle memory to get that going. It should pay off in the long run. It just may not be as exciting as it may seem as far as watching these matches, so I do apologize to a vague extent there. And I shouldn't have chrono boosted so early, since I don't... Yeah, there's going to be a slight overlap where I maybe just the tiniest little bit of overlap, and I didn't even bother placing my gateways or anywhere. And see, really, I should have put like my pylon gateway here and at least block off this pathway, so at least my adept can kind of cover that arc relatively well. I wasn't really thinking on that so much. To be honest, I didn't really put a whole lot into where I should place my buildings for denying Reaper potential. And let alone multiple Reapers, that can be a scary window there. If they decide to attack with multiple Reapers at the same time when a Cyclone or heavy push could happen, that is sure to catch me flat-footed to some extent. Now I'm just curious, what are opponents up to? I want this SCV to stop tailing me, but I'm just curious about the Reaper. Although I didn't get a grasp of when that barracks built, we kind of know the timing, a vague sense anyway. And I gotta say, it seems like the muscle memory is starting to kick in. It seems like my build is relatively good right now, but of course it could be me just not feeling fatigued anymore. No Marine, so I think it's safe to say that might be a Reaper. I don't have a clue about the second gas, mind you, but let's just go around in a circle and hopefully see about what could be coming after said Reaper. And also, it's still attacking. I thought maybe I was the Reaper chasing after me first. And I gotta get ready for the expansion too.
The firstborn shall persevere. The Templar.
That is what the plan is. Oh, there's two Marines there, so maybe no Reapers? Either way, what is it? Securing the low ground suggests an expansion, but that's if you're confident you can deny a scout, that's probably where you want to put your units anyway, to be said. So I guess it is no Reaper, they just held the Marines back, which is fine by me. Let's just get the shield generator and all that going. Get my sentry building, and this is the scary part. Do I put all my units up onto low ground, or leave myself vulnerable to a Reaper eventually coming up here? Even though they would have poked already if there was a Reaper. I would make the argument. No, that was not a Stargate I want to build, but everything's looking good so far. I just need a shield battery for good measure. That is the one thing I've yet to incorporate the best of my abilities, like the shield battery. Since I don't know when I should really invest in them. Yeah, there's the attack I was afraid of.
You have not enough minerals.
This is badly timed, sadly.
You have not enough. Your research complete.
Yes.
Once the Immortal's out, I'm fine. Can I at least get one kill? We got a Cyclone. And the Immortal's about to spawn in a moment. Don't fail, Immortal.
I return to serve.
This is gonna hurt though, isn't it? Oh, that was brutal. I didn't micromanage it the best, but considering the situation, this is not over yet.
Glory to the...
This is kind of an all-in. That's what it's looking like at this point, so I'm kind of forced to let that go, sadly. I feel like maybe that shield battery should have been faster. That could have made a world of difference for me. That is unfortunate.
You must construct additional pylons.
And I lost a bunch of pylons in that process too, but all the Marines are... Yeah, they probably went back and expanded. If they didn't already expand. You would think not. Oh, proxy expansion. Yeah, just probably going out there was a terrible idea. But it was a proxy. At least we can say that much, but what can I do about this situation? Not a whole lot just yet. I'm stuck in here. I don't have the tech I would like. And I'm still bottling here. I don't know this situation. It was looking promising. The shield battery alone would have made a world difference if I had gotten that a lot more earlier. And poke it up as aggressively as I did may have been a mistake too. And what am I doing with Temple? I'm getting DTs, that's why. Let's make this work. We're gonna go full on auto. Was it all in this case? That is the attempt anyway.
You must construct additional pylons.
Yes.
Do I have pylons building? No, I do not. And I'm heavily oversaturated.
Give us your command.
I think at this point I need some kind of all-in. Don't know how helpful that will be though.
Ire shall be reclaimed.
I got a few moments to make this work. And of course the these units are mine outside because I'm kind of oversaturated at this point.
Let your will
We'll have the
be
Dark
heard.
Templar try and get in and do some damage. How likely that will be? Very unlikely, since I have no forward point to help in this regard. And I almost never use the dang DTs in general.
Yes, Executor. Najakar.
We'll see how this works.
You must construct additional
More pylons, go figure. My. It had promised, I messed it up. Simply put, can we turn this around though?
Pride.
Mineral field depleted.
We're gonna have to make this attack count big time for this to really
Search complete.
work.
We
Since that was a
serve with
proxy that
pride.
infested a lot into it, and I did kill a lot of their cyclones, that is one thing going for me.
Where shall we march?
And charge is finished. Oh, I saw I sent both my DTs up over there. Alright.
Combat awaits. Forward. Let your will be heard. Faith before fear.
Oh, and they already have fission, go figure.
Us your command. We serve. Ire shall be there. Yes.
Can we make this count?
Najakar.
My DTs are kind of useless at this point, alas. But I don't have anti-air either, but
Combat
if I steamroll into them, that's not a problem, is it now? Yes. This is just gonna murder everything right now. Yeah, and the missile turret's also gone, so DTs are amazing in this situation. If I do this right. We'll have to see if this works or not. This is a really awkward situation for me, especially with no minerals. It had promise. I have no steam because I did this poorly. Oh, this is gonna walk into Liberator. Yeah, I figured as much. Well, this is convenient. Oh my god. Oh my god. I did that poorly since I should have seriously got maybe High Templar since I was pouring a lot of gas. And sadly, all my other units, here I'm just going to return the game quickly, are not really all that gas extensive. Hell, I should have seriously got more sentries. They actually would be useful for the heavy amount of cyclones we had to deal with. So maybe that's what I could have done. Templars, morph them into Archons would have been good there. It would have been too expensive to try for Storm. But I had doubts about the Dark Templar when the missile turret was there, and I think they actually won it for me. And look what happens as a result, good god. Although to be honest, I did kind of stage it a little bit. I played games up until it was just about filled out. Mind you, I only played like 1 or 2 one-on-one matches, but I chose not to play more until I did the recording. And thankfully, I did not jinx myself, because that was very tenuous. What else can I say? It was a bit spur of the moment, mind you. It was kind of like me thinking on my feet. I really should have infested in those sentries there. I didn't expect the gas to be pulling as much as it did, mind you. But what a victory. Alright, Protoss versus Zerg. And I'm gonna hope maybe I can play a proper mid-game, since it seems like that's where I flounder a lot. Mainly because I hate the idea of being bottled into my base so much. So I'm gonna have to rely on some form of aggression. I need to be smart with utilizing my... not Archons, damn it, Oracles. I was trying to fight for trying to figure out the name of the damn Oracle. Maybe I just don't know how to use them the best of my ability, aside from maybe sniping creep tumors, but I would kind of observer for that too. It is an idea, and I did actually utilize that a little bit in the past too in previous games, so maybe that's not a crazy idea. Although I forgot to give my opponent the benefit of a good match. But if I'm on top of my game, it's probably not going to be a good match for him. We will see. I'm just glad we survived the damn proxy. It was a proxy since we saw the factory, we saw the reactor. So that was kind of the worst type of aggression we could have had to deal with there, in all seriousness. And I'm thankful we pulled it off. A lot of it was probably because... That may be why the shield battle was nowhere near finishing, mind you. It's because of the close proximity of the dang cyclones when they did finally push. It went well. Maybe I overextended a tiny bit. And I didn't pay attention to... Hold that thought. Okay. So, spawning pool just spawned not too terribly long ago. I just want to know if it was gas first or pool first. Is really what it comes down to. And I need to get a second pylon going too for good measure, so why not get built? I'm feeling good about that game now. Still, could have been made some refinements, of course, but it was really in the gas count. Is ultimately what it was. I wasn't able to utilize it to the best of my ability, and a couple of Archons would have been amazing to scare off the Liberator, possibly just straight kill it. And of course, their splash damage would have been helpful for that clump of units, but Zealot Charge did the work it needed to. And even Beatty, my opponent was tempted to go after my dang Warp Prism, which could have ended fatally. Let's not kid ourselves. That could have been really bad for me if they did manage to snipe it, but I was getting a lot of free damage as a result of it too. I didn't really pay that much attention if the speed was upgraded, mind you, but we kind of know. We could kind of infer it, we just don't have the confirmation though, which means tech shenanigans could be afoot here if we're not careful. Ooh, perfect. Perfect saturation. Which probably means I wasn't saturating or building workers enough then. Oh god.
The firstborn shall persevere.
This is getting irritating, but at least not scaling the base just yet, but... got a couple probe kills. Not the end of the world, considering I normally really get thrown off when links are in my base. I mistimed that. And, of course, I didn't have any units building. But we have the first adept out. Let's keep building. 4 links are dead, and they didn't really get any scouting intel. It's mostly just a harassment. And we saw where that thing, Overlord was, so maybe I could kill it later. This is the tenuous part. I want to poke out with the Adept and try and scout and do some damage as well, but we've seen that ended up badly a lot of the times. And there's the speed for kind of confirmation of it. Maybe I fight on the poke, stay on the ramp, and at least that way I can back up and force field if necessary, but I don't know how to advance from here, aside from relying on my Oracle to do that. And my Phoenix. Let's not forget about my Phoenix there. It's still a question of what I should build. If I should build the Phoenix first, which is probably the smartest thing, the safest thing, because I feel tempted to get really greedy with the Oracle. Now, I didn't mean to build a Stalker, but let's get building. Get some Adepts out. Get some Zealots out for good measure. And prepare for I don't know what just yet. Otherwise, we'll just stick with the norm plan. Zealots should be in front. Sentries should be in back. I want to get ready to try and poke out. Ideally. If it's at all possible, though. Since, again, I'm kind of going blind and my Oracle's at an awkward angle. Okay. And there's the hive there. Convenient placement. Okay, kill all the gas. A little rough, a little sloppy, but I'll take it. And now I just gotta make it my priority to scout, which means this Overlord needs to die too. Speak of the devil, we found him. Now, charge is building. And get upgrades going. Everything looks good there. The only thing that can screw me over, of course, okay, roaches. That's a relief to know. Those 6 kills are pretty good there. Now I gotta watch for creep tumors, ideally. Which is what the observers should be for, but if I can spot them morphing or spreading ahead of time, then that's best case situation for me. I just gotta keep an eye out for it. That's the hard part. They're little icons on the main map, but I can kill them. And normally, you spawn all the creep tumors at the same time. Normally. So that way I'm almost sure to get multiple kills that way. And I have the pylons building, or I did have, yep, they're finishing now. I was wondering about that. I saw roaches, but I'm not seeing anything of note just yet.
It is destined. How can I aid you?
And I could even use my own ability to spot them too.
We meet our fate.
And you got speed on the Overlords.
Engaging the enemy.
Alright, so I don't know what to expect here just yet. But I think a little protection is warranted. And let's see. Some gateways are good too. Is everything looking good? Besides the fact that I don't have Templar. That's the only thing of note here.
You have not enough minerals. Research complete. Base is under attack.
Alright. So, can I get... No, I could have a run-by come in. If I'm not careful.
Mineral field depleted.
So that's one thing I need to be prepared for, too.
Harmonize.
We have... And I had a stasis bomb be used there, too. But let's try and kill the tumors off. I could be getting fooled by the... What is it? The roach warren, since I'm not seeing any actual roaches, mind you. But this is what I have in mind. Just kill creep tumors.
The enemy has discovered us.
Upgrade complete.
Oh, did I lose? Yeah. Hydras are out. Okay, I can rest easy now. We're playing a proper game there. Although my opponent got a really fast fourth, I probably should have done a timing window for that. That goes again with what I'm scared of poking out needlessly. But we got the Hydra then, it's upgrading. We can get Celis out. I need Templar for Archons, mainly, since I have enough for Storm right now. And my Robo Facility is not doing anything just yet, or at least my Immortals are in a bad spot. And just to keep building, let's get this going. I did, yep, okay. I was wondering if I actually put them in the group or not. Since we're kind of still back there when I didn't need them to. Need pylons. And get ready for my transition, I suppose. I want these Templar out first, and I need... Alright. That is a lot of lings. But that's a lot of dead lings, too. Huh, interesting. You're going... What happened to your roaches? I honestly could not tell you, and I'm kind of glad for it. Although now I can't tell which Templar I want for Archons, mind you. I'll have to manually divide my squad, but... Let's get this going. I'm ready to counterattack. I just need a War Prism now. And this is a good opportunity for like a second one. Yeah, I'm pretty fragile right now. My observers, if anything, kill... I want to try and kill off the dang creep tumors, ideally. I don't care for the army just yet. This is going to make him wet his pants, ideally, if I do this right. Since I kind of need to wait for the War Prism, if I'm going to do any true aggression.
Upgrade complete.
But we are getting carries going. Maybe a little bit too early, I won't lie. Oh, thank you. That was much appreciated. Okay, War Prism's here. Thankfully, having audio on is a good thing, as opposed to listening to music in the background. But since it's YouTube, that would mean a lot of issues for me. Alright, let's get this going. This is going to be a win. This is looking like a damn salt win just because of the sheer amount of units we killed. I'm just wondering where the hell the roaches went. That's what I honestly want to know. Where the hell are the roaches? Oh, well, that's game. Again, I really don't like sitting back and doing really nothing. It feels like I should be doing something. And a lot of it comes down to what I tried to do in a previous episode of practicing the Immortal Drop Harass in my last Protoss versus Protoss, was it? And that ended up abysmally, for there's a lot of championship like top level play that involves Archon drops. So much so that it's actually being nerfed, where how far away the Warp Prism can pick up the Archons, or at least units in general. So you could tell that is something I should be trying to do just to get my presence on the map. Although, being active with the Oracles is another thing I could do. It just doesn't feel as impactful. Not yet. But if I can snipe those creep tumors, push them back, especially with Observer, hell. Realistically, my Oracle can do it by itself, but that requires a lot of energy. Since I can reveal an area with... Oh, that's the wrong key, mind you. They can reveal an entire area, and that includes even stealth units, which I think I used against Banshees one time. But it costs, again, a lot of energy to do, especially in combination since my actual attack requires energy. So it's not something I would recommend, and it's something I'm trying to avoid actively doing. So I think the Observer Oracle combo is key. And I need to put more use to the Phoenix. If anything, it should be spotting when attacks are coming. Killing Overlords are nice, mind you, but that's just to deny vision. Deny them from seeing the possible surge. Ideally, this thing should spot for the attack, since my Oracle is more valuable for that type of battle, just with the Stasis Ward, if I start utilizing it, and utilizing it properly. Hell, I even used it once there on the main pathway, and I never paid attention to how effective it actually was, mind you. Alright, another rematch with Zerg, this time on Fractured LE, so I kind of understand what I'm doing here. I still have bad memories of that very first time I actually had a proper Zerg match on this map, and I'm sure if you watched my series in its entirety, you know what that was, and it involved trying to figure out what the hell this wall-off is. Oh, and I'm not even doing my location hotkeys. That might be a bit of a failing. Yeah, I think I failed it a tiny bit, so I'm gonna have to make notes to remember that. Let's see. Yeah, I got it done wrong. Oh well. I can be happy at least with today, if nothing else. Let me just get... I used the wrong hotkeys. There we go. I think we're all set now. Everything's delayed. Which can be a problem if Lynx decide to bull rush into my base. We've seen how close it could be with just my Adept there, mind you, in the last match alone. And if anything, I think this pathway is a little bit narrower than what I expect. So it's going to make for a little bit awkward layout. Just a slightly bit awkward. But so long as they're not putting hatcheries in my base, we should be golden, right? Here's hoping. Fingers crossed. It could still happen that I could get my ass beat by a dang spore crawler rush, is it? Or hatchery rush of some kind. Although normally that involves not me not seeing it. I would argue at least. Ooh, this looks like spine pull already. Why the hell was there already an Overlord? Yeah, I knew it. Well, let's see how this goes then. And I am currently full on space, so gotta be mindful of this. I don't know how... This is a wild, wild world. And of course they went right for my dang... What is it? They went straight for my probe there, so I can't scout the follow-up very well. I didn't even get to see a gas, mind you. That is a bit of a problem. But everything's looking good here, I think. Okay, we're safe. Let's just get these things going. And actually get this building, I suppose. Alright. This is weird, but I'm in good shape still. Oh, well, I was in good shape and then I wedged myself in. You gotta be ready for the follow-up. We need something to kind of cover my back, though.
Yes, Executor.
I got expansion going. It did ruin my gas a tiny bit, but only the second gas. I gotta be ready for bailings of some kind. I think this is a good opportunity to scout what the hell's going on now. Oh, that's the hope anyway.
Glory to the Daylong.
Oops. Yeah, I messed up my hotkeys there some.
You must construct additional
And I don't have pylons. Well, I have the expansion building too, so that might be rectified shortly. I need sentries now, is what it's looking like. Oh, and I never got warp gate. That's a bit of a problem. So I'm completely wrong. I wonder how much that threw up my opponent, though. Since it was like more than 6 links there, I believe. Don't know how many exactly, but... we need sentries, with that said. And we need defenses at the ready.
You require your probes are under attack.
So the expansion's up. And if we saw something building, okay, in a high, or layer. So this can't be a Bailey bus of some kind, but what would that be? Just evolution chamber. I just wish the rest of my transition wasn't so horrible, mind you, but...
Game paused.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It gives me a chance to think, recollect my thought. Sometimes this pause moment can really throw you off. Hell, I don't know why I'm still trying to give commentary when I can easily just edit this out. I still feel like I'm a little bit thrown off, mind you. Since I'm not used to this opening, but I can still build. I just gotta get my Oracle out, keep spying, and see what that transition is. I want to say that's an evolution chamber if I want to argue. I want to argue at least. Oh, I think... Well, I might as well get the Phoenix out in this case. Since I messed it up, because I kind of forgot my robo facility takes 100 gas.
Not enough energy.
And also some extra pylons for fission here. Be warranted. I want to say we're dealing with possible mutalisks. I want to poke on out. That's always the scariest thing. I don't know what to seriously expect.
Teleport successful. Not enough energy.
Oh well. I suspect mutalisks, so we're gonna play this as possibly that. Since there were a lot of lings after all. Oh, and why am I moving these guys over? I want you to move there. There we go. There we go. I don't even need an oracle. It's just... At this point, I don't know what this robotics facility is, if I'm assuming mutalisks already, to be fair. But let's get on scouting.
Time for battle.
And see what we can find, I guess. I need to get Templar to help with that regard, if it is Mutalisk. And look for a possible third, too. Or at least building a third, rather.
Not enough energy. I am eager to chasing the enemy.
Oh, no, it is roaches. Okay. And it was double Evo.
Construct additional pylons.
So morals are the right choice. So let's snipe all the overlords we can. Use again. Try and use my Phoenix as a spot. Although it helps if I didn't, if I had more supply though.
The skies await.
Try and find the mutalisks, or not the mutalisks, but the overlords. Just a shame I don't have an oracle for this, but so long as I can safely get my transition going.
I have met the enemy.
Just get everyone out. Try to, anyway. Yeah, this is not going to be good with only a single immortal, mind you. Since I don't have a shield battery to help with this.
I return to serve.
Yeah, this looks like a loss, damn it. Everything is really all thrown off there. And again, shield batteries would have been amazing. Oh my. And again, I didn't even see the attack coming in general, so... There's a lot of little things. I don't know what to really say, I have no words. I like to think I was doing well after dealing with the initial Ling rush. I just don't know where how far... what kind of advantage I had to really take advantage of it, in all honesty. And of course I messed up on a lot of little builds there too. I don't know. I'll leave it at that.